Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jazzy. I am so pumped for this video right now, you guys. So Dominic and I went to New York City a couple of weeks ago and they had all of their Christmas decorations up already and it was just screaming Vlogmas to me. So I decided for the first day of Vlogmas, I would take you guys along on our trip. When I say it just literally kicked us so far into the Christmas spirit, this Vlogmas is going to be epic. I just know it. I'm feeling so much more Christmassy than normal just because there is really nothing like New York City in the holiday season. We also went at the perfect time to catch all of the fall leaves at their tail end and all of the holiday lights. So like it was just the best time ever and I can't wait to show you guys everything that we did because we just had so much fun. But first we had to hop on a plane and I'm not even gonna get into the drama that happened on the plane. I will be telling that story during Vlogmas, but we are not gonna ruin this video with it because it was wild. But we hopped on the plane and headed to New York City, and when we first got there, we went to check into our hotel and it wasn't ready yet for us, so we ended up grabbing bagels and sitting in Central Park, one of my favorite things to do while we're there. I actually expected us to do this way more often while we were there, but we only ended up doing it a couple of days because we found so much to do, you guys. We explored so much more than I have ever explored New York. We actually walked 30 miles, which is insane if you know what I look like. Like, it was actually crazy. If you're new here, you don't know, but go check out some of my videos and imagine me walking 30 miles. It was honestly impressive. Like, I felt so accomplished afterwards, and it also kicked me into the Vlogmas spirit and made me want to, you know, do a little bit more walking because it felt good, and I was barely even sore. So it was amazing. But anyway, guys, that's beside the point. We ended up going to Central Park and enjoying our bagel, just doing like a little walk, and then we grabbed some coffee and went to our hotel. They actually hooked us up with our view. You guys can't tell in this clip, to be honest, but I'll show you guys later on. The view is honestly great, but the best part about it was we were 10 floors up, but for some reason I could still hear everything down below. I mean, I guess that's New York for you, because like the noise is bouncing off of each of the walls, but the second that we sat down to just enjoy our coffee, I was gonna read a little bit, this whole accident came about. And like I heard a big crash and I looked down and all of this drama was playing out before my eyes. I would love to live in New York just for the people watching alone, just being able to like fill in what they were saying while they were saying it and like imagining what was going on. I so wish that I would have seen it when it actually happened because I don't know, I was kind of on the guy's side if I'm being honest, but you guys will have to watch this and tell me what you think actually happened. The girl, you know, she'd be looking at the back of her car like, okay, I guess it's not that bad, but she just was really putting her foot down. And honestly, I probably would too because that truck is massive, so you really don't know what kind of damage he did. However, you know that guy's gonna lose his job if anything comes about. But in the end, an ambulance ended up pulling up, and this part was so funny. Literally, you can tell he's explaining to the ambulance, like, not a big deal, and the girl is like, no, it's a huge deal. She did not agree with what he had to say, but then the ambulance just drove off. They gave no shits about the accident. That night, we were honestly so tired from the day. I forgot to mention we actually flew out at 6 a.m. So we were exhausted. So we ended up just going around the corner and going to this food truck. And when I tell you, this food truck was banging. The line was so long and for good reason, and it was so worth the wait. I think Dominic and I waited maybe like a half an hour to 45 minutes for our trays, but they were only $10 per person. And not to mention, we probably could have split a tray, but we ended up eating each one. But they were so yummy. We ended up going there actually 3 more times during this trip because it was so delicious. But anyway, we also kind of wanted to conserve our energy because we knew the following day we wanted to explore Central Park more, and I have only ever done like the bottom half of Central Park whenever I've gone to New York City, so I really wanted to like explore, at least get close to the top of Central Park, which we ended up going like almost to the tippy top of Central Park the following day. And honestly, you guys, it was so beautiful and low-key exhausting because we were doing like weaving in and out of different trails and everything, but once you get in there, there's just like so much to explore, and the fact that it was fall just made it so much better. After we explored all that Central Park had to offer, we ended up wandering on over to Bryant Park, and they had a winter village set up. If you guys have never been, 10 out of 10 recommend. I personally have never been, which is kind of crazy because I feel like every time I've visited New York, it's during the winter time, especially when I was growing up in New York. We would always go with school to New York City, but I guess we weren't really there at night, and the winter village really just lights up at nighttime. So that was so awesome to see. There was an ice skating rink there and just a bunch of different shops where you could get hot cocoa and just wander around. There were like so many people, you guys. So definitely don't recommend like going if you are afraid of being around that many people. But we really enjoyed it. We didn't end up going in any of the shops really. We just kind of like window shopped the whole entire time. But it was really, really fun.
Drive alone in December rain. They play my favorite song. I see a snowflake melt on the deck. I'm awful cold and longing for the holiday. Counting days until you're here. I've been waiting this whole year. Dear Christmas, Christmas, Christmas night. I know you may suffer light, but together we're alright. You know we're ready for Christmas. Can't wait to head back home. When the neighbors call, I hit the road. Baby, let it snow. We're ready for Christmas. Why you so far yet close? I think I hear them call. So baby, let it snow. Deck the house. That's when the snow starts falling. I pick all the presents up for you. Decorate the fireplace for two. I keep waiting all night, all night. Wish upon a starlight, starlight. I sleep under the mistletoe. Wake me up with a kiss on my nose. It feels so magical, yeah, look where we were small. Someone's been here and there. The dark is wrong. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas night. I know you may suffer light, but together we're alright. You know we're ready for Christmas. Can't wait to head back home. When the neighbors call, I hit the road. Baby, let it snow. We're ready for Christmas. Why you so far yet close? I think I hear them call. So baby, let it snow. We're ready for Christmas. Can't wait to head back home. When the neighbors call, I hit the road. Baby, let it snow. We're ready for Christmas. Why you so far yet close? I think I hear them call. So baby, let it snow.
Well, I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the lights to the mistletoe. Tell me one thing, is there anything that you're missing? I will keep you warm as soon as you remove that snow. Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holiday wonders will open your mind. May all your wishes tonight come true. The love I lived, the dream I knew. This Christmas I only wanna be close to you. Hey.
For dinner, we ended up stopping at a taco truck, and honestly, they weren't that memorable. Not that great, so I don't really recommend. However, we did end up seeing a rat, which, I mean, isn't a trip to New York City if you don't stumble upon a couple of rats there. We stopped at Magnolia Bakery, and we got some cakes, and they look banging. They were, how much was yours? $6? $6.75 for this big honkin' chocolate cake. Mine was $7 something, but still. She didn't even look at it. I probably could have lied about what kind of cake I got. Is it good? Oh my god, I'm excited. So we're gonna dig into this now, and we'll let you guys know how it is. The next day, we woke up bright and early and went to a different bagel shop this time. They had so many choices for cream cheese, you guys. It was crazy. I ended up getting the French toast bagel with blueberry cream cheese, and Dominic ended up getting it with strawberry. And the cream cheese, you guys, it was so good. It was so good. So we enjoyed that, and then we were off to the races and went out to find some Christmassy things. That's what I had. One thing on the mind this day, and it was Christmas. We somehow ended up in the most Christmassy place of all time, you guys. I literally felt like we were inside of a Christmas movie while we were here. This place is called Hudson Yards, and I had never ever heard of this place in my life. We have always gone only to like the Times Square, Central Park, very touristy areas when visiting New York. And this time we tried to venture out a little bit to the Chelsea, like West Village area, and it was so much fun, you guys. The lights were just so beautiful and so Christmassy. I just can't imagine living close to something like this. It was so gorgeous. And this is actually called the Vessel, which is something I also had never heard of before, and it's right outside of Hudson Yards, and it's just so beautiful at night, all twinkly and lit up. right next to this, there is a thing called the Highline Park. If you have never heard of it, I encourage you to look it up, first of all. And second of all, you need to visit. It is a park built on a railroad track that's kind of like elevated from the city, and you just walk for like 1.5 to 2 miles along all of these beautiful buildings, and like it was just the coolest experience ever. Honestly, I cannot recommend doing this enough, and also I can't recommend doing it at nighttime and during the day. So we actually ended up coming back to this area during the day because it was such a cool experience at night that we were curious what it looked like during the day, and we also really didn't get to experience it as well as we would have liked because we were already so tired. We were afraid of the subway system this day for some reason, and we just did not take the subway to get here. So we had already walked about like 8 miles by the time we made it to the High Line, and luckily there's like a bunch of parks along the High Line as well that you can sit in and like relax for your walk. But it was just so cool, you guys. I can't recommend going there enough. It also leads right to the Chelsea Market area, which I had never been to Chelsea Market either. It's just so crazy to me that I had never experienced any of this part of New York, and it seriously changed our brain chemistry like going to this area, because it just made us see why people love living in New York so much. It felt like we were among more locals than tourists, and everybody was just so different there. Like the vibe was just completely different than the other parts of New York, or at least the parts that we visited, which is just that Times Square area like I mentioned. So it makes sense that it was completely different. But we ended up going to this pizza joint that seemed like there was no other tourists there. Like we were out of place, I'm not gonna lie. I think we're just a regular. We definitely were out of place there, but it was so yummy. So I am going to link it down below for you guys, because if you do end up going to this area, it was so delicious. So good. And like I said, we ended up going home that night. We did take the subway and realized that like we have nothing to be afraid of with the subway, which is why we ended up coming back to this area the following day, because we just hopped on the subway the next day and took it right back to where we started the night before. And we ended up working our way back this day. First, we stopped at the Cornelia Street apartment that is iconic, Taylor Swift, and honestly, the biggest reason that I wanted to come over to this area, just because she always talks about like the West Village in her music, and I can see why it was such an amazing place. I will say Cornelia Street was nothing to write home about, I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely nothing to write home about, but the area around it was so magical and just such a cool vibe. We ended up going back to the Chelsea Market area and just enjoying our day, seeing everything we had seen the night before, but in the daylight. It was so beautiful, you guys.
So hard to see from the moment we arrived. Cornelia, you are one who will survive. When time's been bad, you put smiles on everyone. Think of you and of all I should have done. It don't mean a thing what shape or form that you're in, the place you're from, the wealth or the color of your skin. And all you have burns to the sky. It's all too late. You wonder why, Cornelia. Your everyday is a struggle and a strife, but don't you agree? With beating hearts, we're still alive.
After all was said and done, we hopped on the plane the following day and headed back to Raleigh after a honestly much needed vacation. It was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to stay tuned for the rest of Vlogmas, we have tons of Christmassy stuff in store for you, and I'm so excited for Vlogmas this year. So definitely hit the subscribe button. If you're new here and you aren't already subscribed, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. I worked really hard on this one. So if you liked it, definitely give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one.